Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
What a glorious sight today. Rain falling at different occasions across Missoula. Is it enough? It doesn't matter. At this point, we'll take it. It was good to see. Good evening. I'm Jill Valley.
And I'm Dennis Bragg. The Lolo Peak fire grows to more than 34,000 acres Wednesday, prompting new mandatory evacuations in the Florence area.
Fire managers report the fire became very active between Carlton and Tie Chute Creeks, and the potential for the fire to move south triggered an evacuation order for most of the Sweeney Creek area. The Ravalli County Sheriff's Office issued new mandatory evacuation orders just after 8:45 last night for all folks on Sweeney Creek Loop north of and including Outback Road, including Woodtick Hollow, Sweeney Creek Trail, Upper Sweeney Creek Loop, Hill Drive, Copeland Lane, and Smith Fork. All other evacuations and warnings are still in effect, with fire managers adding that can change at any time based on fire behavior. Now, Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke praised the professionalism of firefighters and other emergency teams coping with Montana's epic fire season.
But he wants to put firefighters out of a job by using better forest management to stop catastrophic fires every summer. And his counterpart of the Forest Service feels exactly the same way. A week ago, the Lolo Peak fire was exploding in a wall of flame. Today, it was being refreshed by badly needed rain showers. But Zinke and U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue are looking beyond this fire. Accompanied by Montana Congressman Steve Daines and Greg Gianforte, Perdue got his first look at a fire camp. The quartet's briefing was closed to the press, but some who attended tell me it was a frank discussion about not just fire management, but how the community has been stressed by yet another massive fire in the Bitterroot, something that's become an annual event.
When we get to fight a fire, the professionalism of our law enforcement, the departments working together, the state, it all works well. We're going to make sure that the Department of Interior and the Department of Agriculture team, because we're all team members, work together.
While Senator John Tester presses to solve the Forest Service's budget problems by changing the system so fires can be paid for like other natural disasters, Secretary Perdue would rather see a permanent budget change.
I don't necessarily want emergency funding, I want ongoing funding.
I want to say this is not about money, it's about management of our forests.
While there was some discussion during the press briefing about the need for funding to keep fighting fires, all four men talked more about the issue of forest management, getting ahead of fires so they don't happen in the future.
So that's why we're here, trying to determine how we can get ahead of this. I'm not from Montana, but I wouldn't want these kind of situations having to live with on a year in, year out basis. And we don't want the people of Montana to either.
If we don't address the litigation issue, the frivolous litigation issues from these extreme environmental groups, we're never going to get ahead of this curve.
The leaders presented a united front on how to tackle the fire problem with preparation, discounting the idea that climate change is solely to blame. It remains to be seen how those details can be pulled together to satisfy all the diverse views on the wildfire issue.
Talking about another fire now, it was just minutes ago the Missoula County Sheriff's Office issued new evacuation orders and warnings because of the Rice Ridge fire near Seeley Lake. Along Forest Service Road 17507, which runs north into North Cottonwood Canyon, 2 cabins have been placed under an evacuation order. An evacuation warning has been issued for those living in the Cozy Corner Meadows area. Eastern boundary starts in the 7500 block of Woodworth Road and runs west to Cottonwood Lakes Road, then north through the Rich Ranch. There are 15 homes in that warning area. It also includes the Black Canyon Ranch, which is the only property located on the south side of Woodworth Road in this warning area. Now, the problem is we have a red flag warning right now for dry, lightning, and gusty outflow winds. Here is Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost, who's been watching some of these incoming thunderstorms.
Yeah, getting a little active out there this evening, and I'd hoped the cold front that pushed through earlier today would help us out with this a little bit. A lot of us, though, still holding on to some hazy skies. This was Hamilton, our first Security Bank ICAM a while ago. Looking at the radar, you can see 3 areas in particular where we are dealing with thunderstorms right through the eastern side of the Flathead Valley, the Missoula Valley, and now moving towards the Bitterroot Valley. We've got another cluster starting to take shape and move into the area. Unfortunately, a lot of this is going to stay put as we move into the next couple of hours with, as Jill mentioned, those red flag warnings in place for critical fire danger. I've got an update coming up shortly.
Firefighting costs continue to soar this week, and with 7 new fires breaking out in the northern Rockies region and multiple large fires still growing, that $127 million price tag will keep going up for weeks. The Lolo Peak fire, now scorching nearly 39,000 acres, has cost $26.5 million, making it the most expensive fire in western Montana this season. And with about 1,200 personnel working the fire, that total is jumping about $1 million per day. The Sunrise fire, burning above the lower Clark Fork Valley, has cost $26.4 million to fight. The good news, though, is that containment has reached 57%. The Sapphire Complex remains the largest fire at nearly 39,000 acres. It has cost $26 million to fight as of this morning. Rice Ridge, burning above Sealy, has cost nearly $18 million to fight. The Liberty fire, burning east of Arlette, tops $11 million, while costs at the Myers fire near Phillipsburg are reaching $20 million.
For people whose property is in the path of those wildfires burning across the state, there are steps you can take to protect your home ahead of time.
MTN's Augusta McDonald visited the largest fire equipment store in western Montana, where they've been working overtime to keep landowners and companies well prepared to fight a wildfire. One particular product has the potential to repel flames for up to 12 hours.
One company stocks their shelves with equipment homeowners living in wilderness areas can use.
It's been a crazy summer here at Axman, where they're selling pumps and gel and hoses to people and organizations that are trying to protect property in the western Montana wildfires.
Fire ice is one key ingredient to fireproofing anything from garden plants to roofing. Corey Koski showed me how it works.
Okay, so the first part of this demonstration, I'm going to show you that yes, this is a stick and it will burn.
Fire ice turns from powder to gel when mixed with water.
With fire ice on it, and as you can see, I mean, we can stand here all day long and it will not burn. And you can see up here where it's not on there.
I had to try it out for myself.
So you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna move it in closer. So just tell me if it's getting too hot. You good?
Good. Oh, a little hot.
Yeah.
Woo!
So it will get warm, but you know, if you did that on your bare skin, it would literally just burn your finger completely off.
Homeowners have a few different options to apply the gel.
So this is a personal water container. You just pressurize it with the air compressor until it's in the green. And what Fire Ice has done is they've got a different nozzle that you could add onto it. And you fill this with water and you dump this nice little bottle in here.
This is called the HDU wand, which works fabulous. Each bucket of fire ice, which is down below me, will cover 1,250 square feet once the nozzle is adjusted correctly. Or if you do own a pressure pump, this is their large 1.5 inch eductor.
Fire ice is one of many ways homeowners can protect their property. Reporting in Missoula, I'm Augusta McDonald for MTN News.
In other news, Missoula County Public Schools are not the only ones undergoing some pretty big construction projects this year. The ground is moving at Hellgate Elementary 2, where work is well underway to build a new middle school complex. And true to form, the superintendent is making sure this new construction is a learning opportunity for the kids.
Well, when the building is finished, it's an 84,000 square foot facility, which will house 20 to 23 additional classrooms. But the big part of it is a new gymnasium, a new wonderful performing arts center, vocational ed facility, cafeteria.
Hellgate Elementary Superintendent Doug Reisig looks over what was a large grassy playing area that's about to become the school's new middle school facility. Hellgate is the largest independent district in Montana and growing. Out of room, the district asked voters for a $19 million bond to pay for this new facility on land the school already owned. Voters said yes, and that solved one big problem.
In our situation, without the building that's being built right now, the easiest thing, Jill, for us to do is hire teachers. Tough part is, where do I put them? I'm running out of space. And so we think that this is a much needed project for us, and we're so grateful that the voters approved that bond last year.
Hellgate is smack in the middle of one of Missoula's fastest growing areas. Already this year, enrollment is up by about 75 kids. Hellgate hired 9 new teachers. But it's this project that's setting the school up for the future. And that big hole in the middle of campus, even plays a role in that. Hellgate Elementary is actually using this construction project as a learning tool. There'll be observation points throughout the site throughout the year where students can watch what is happening and ask questions about how things are being built. It's a way to increase their interest in the trades, a key component of Missoula's economy.
It's because there's wonderful jobs available for Missoula young people after they get through high school and maybe the Missoula College to stay in the Missoula area and work in the trades industry. So we're trying to increase that awareness and that interest.
Construction was supposed to be done by next September, but excavation took longer because of clay on the building site. Reisig expects students to start walking these new halls by December of 2018. But they'll be walking the old halls as of Wednesday, August 30th, which is the first day of school at Hellgate Elementary.
Coming up, Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke announces his controversial decision on national monument reviews.
Plus, an economic chamber meeting in Kalispell highlights the tremendous amount of construction that's happening across the Flathead Valley. We'll take a look still ahead here on KPAX.